Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, and we're coming to you from the Grand Hotel and the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce's annual policy conference. And Dave Egner is here, one of my favorite people, truly. And I'm not really just blowing smoke there. And you are the head of the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation. And tell everybody what that is. It's a unique story in itself.
It is. Mr. Wilson owned the Buffalo Bills, and he had amassed a fortune. Ralph was successful in 11 industries, but he's a Southeast Michigan guy owning the Bills. And so he picked four people, four life trustees, and said, when I pass, take the money, sell the Bills, sell everything else, and put it into a foundation. So he passed in 2014. $1.2 billion came to the foundation when it was all said and done. And the only stipulation was spend it in 20 years. So they set up the parameters of geography and subject matter, but we're on a clock.
And then they found you.
Then they found me, and as one friend of mine said, if I'd have known it was a spend down, I would have answered differently. But they said, "What do you think of Egner?" And they said, "Oh my God, you hire that guy, there won't be anything left in 20 years."
Which is perfect, right?
It works out just right.
Okay, so you've been there since the beginning, right? And it's a 20-year project, and how many years left?
There's about 9.5 to go.
Oh, wow. You'll be at retirement.
I will be at retirement age. I will be nearing your age, not quite that old.
No, you didn't. Nobody gets my age. So let's talk a little bit about what the foundation does. What does the money go to?
So there are four major pillars. So economic development, which you and I have talked about a lot. How do you get small businesses started and maintained and growing? Preparing for success. So that's everything from early childhood, after school to workforce, how to put people into jobs, caregivers, people who give care to older adults, and active lifestyles, parks, trails, green design, youth sports, and rec.
Wow. And you guys have done a ton, especially in that Detroit area.
We have in Detroit and then in Western New York. So the money's been split almost evenly between the two markets.
Yeah. So do you have an office there too?
We don't. We need the synergy of everybody being in one place, but we spend a lot of time in Western New York.
Okay, good.
That's right.
Well,
Post-industrial city and, all of the nuances.
if I'm not mistaken, they also went to 4 Super Bowls under his. Was that under his ownership?
It was under Ralph's ownership, and we're hopeful that we can repeat that in Detroit.
Yeah, good stuff. So what is your time spent doing now?
Well, we're trying to understand how to get rid of what's left
Yeah.
in a manner that's thoughtful and meaningful. So how do you sunset this work?
Yeah.
Foundations are terrible at exiting anything.
Yeah.
So we're trying to, how do we build the right infrastructure? Let me come back to business, which is, you've done so well in over the years, Chris.
No.
What's the right blend of funding ecosystem infrastructure, of how to technical assistance and training versus capital, money we can put into capital that can be reused? We're working through all that right now.
Yeah. It's it's an arduous job. My dad always said it's tough to do good. And giving money away is not all that everybody smiles.
I wish I had a checkbook and they said just write checks to what you wish to write checks to. But if you want to have lasting impact in community, you have to be very thoughtful. It takes to build a collaborative initiative with the right people. It's an 18 to 36-month process before you write a check.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you also want it to be sustainable. I mean, people come back and ask for money year after year after year. You start saying to yourself, okay, what am I really doing keeping you alive? Are you going to reach a point of sustainability? Is that part of your mission?
That's key. And what's complicating that now is these unexpected cuts from the federal level.
Well,
It's hard to wrap your head around. But let me give you an example of the ripple. If I look at the Detroit Area Agency on Aging, they lost $3.8 million, which amounted to 1.6 million meals to seniors. How do you replace that? That's thousands of people that depend on that system for its food. And then if the Medicaid cuts come after that and those people get sick, we're setting them up for death. And I don't know how you fix that and how you deal with the sustainability issue in that kind of a.
and they're more likely to get sick because
They're not
resistance
eating.
will be down.
Yeah, they're not eating. So and you can just follow the line through all of these cuts. I really wish the feds had used a scalpel instead of a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I love getting a wit of efficiency
Or a chainsaw.
or a chainsaw. And literally, it'd be great to approach this in a manner that was meaningful to look at both revenue and expenditures and bring the deficit down. But this sledgehammer approach is going to damage business. SBA just lost a ton of folks that work for it.
Yeah.
across the country.
I'm not so sure they don't want SBA to go away.
I think that's right. I think that's right. And I
It's-
just don't see the benefit of that.
No, it's crazy, and you're right. There hasn't been enough thought to this.
Right. We've got to think about how we're going to handle this moving forward. It's going to be a tough road here for the next couple of years.
Well, we still have a few interviews ahead of us before this.
I hope so.
All right, Dave.
Great.
Good to have you here, buddy.
Thank you.
Dave Egner, great guy and head of the Wilson Foundation. I'm Chris Holman, as you know, and we are coming to you from the policy conference put on by the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce at the Grand Hotel. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network.